Rice kasi is part of the Filipino culture. Okay po. Part ka siya ng kultura nating mga Filipino. Diba? Every Filipino na dining table, every Filipinong hapagkainan, meron po siyang rice. Even naman din, di ba, kapag yung mga fast food chains nga lang natin, di ba, most commonly ng mga nasa menus nila is merong rice. Ayan. And next one, do you ask your friend or family, kumusta ka na? Do you ask your friend or family kung kumusta na ba sila? Yes. Okay. Diba? That's one part of the Filipino culture wherein we check on each other. Na, okay ba tong classmate ko na to? Humihinga pa ba tong classmate ko na to? Ano bang nangyayari sa kanya? Diba? We check on each other. That's why we always say, kumusta ka na? Next, do you consistently arrive 30 minutes to more before ours? Or more hours late from the event? O sino ba dito yung nalilate? Or nalilate ka po ba na yung tipong ang usapan ay alas 3, dadating ka 3:30 or 4 o'clock? Okay, sometimes. Be honest, ha? Ayan, yes. Mr. Excel talaga, late lagi. Okay, another one. Ano, dalawa lang estudyante ko? Yes po. Medyo. O, yung iba pa humble, medyo daw. Okay, sometimes. No. Okay. So, di ba, mayroon tayong tinatawag na Filipino time. Yung tipong ang usapan ay alas 3. Yung iba sa atin magdadatingan alas 4. Yung iba 3:30, ganun. So, even if it is a negative thing, di ba, it is also part of our culture. Even though bad yung habit natin, it's not manyana habit na ano lang siya. Kasi ang manyana habit, yun yung tipong mamayana habit eh. Yung late culture, ayan, yun yung, ganun kasi yung Filipino time eh. Na tipong hindi, alas 3 pero hindi siya mag-start ng alas 3. Ganun. Next, do you know that Goldilocks is not just a cartoon character and Red Ribbon is not just an ordinary ribbon but has another meaning? So, if Filipino ka, pag narinig mo yung word na Goldilocks or Red Ribbon, ano ang unang papasok sa isip mo? Very good, cakes. Diba? Most commonly, dito sa Philippines, when we say Goldilocks or Red Ribbon, it means cake. Kasi po meron, di ba, isa siyang big shop here in the Philippines which sells different kinds of cakes for different kinds of occasion. So, most commonly, yung mga cake na nabibili natin is sa kanila na ang gagaling. And with that, if you have a friend na foreigner, ang unang papasok lang sa isip nila when they hear the word Goldilocks is, it is a cartoon character or it is a character in a book. Wherein a red ribbon, it could be literally, ang meaning sa kanila literally red ribbon. But for us Filipinos, it is a bake shop or minsan nga cake pa, diba? So number 5, this is the last thing. Do you enjoy using your hands in eating your food? Or mas nag-enjoy ka ba na magkamay? Lalo na kung sa pagkain? Oh yes. Diba? And that is part of the Filipino culture. Sabi nga nila, masarap daw kumain ng nakakamay. So parang mas easy to other people na kumain ng nakakamay. And lalo na, di ba, meron tayong way na pagkain dito sa Pilipinas, which is yung tinatawag nating budol fight, na yung tipong salo-salo kayong kumakain sa isang dahon ng saging na punong-puno ng mga Filipino delicacies, wherein kakain kayo without using the utensils but using only your bare hands. So with that, let's talk about the Filipino moral character. Wait lang kayo. Ayun. So the Filipino moral character has a strength and weakness. So that is our lesson for today. So we're going to talk about the strength and weakness of a Filipino moral character. first one, the Filipino moral character centers on ideally having a smooth interpersonal relationship, which means um, we love being with the company of another persons. So we love having deep conversations with other people, or we really love enjoying, or we really love enjoying other people's company. And with that, there are six basic Filipino values. Number one is it is pakikisama. Number two is hiya. Number three is amor proprio. Number four is utang na loob. And number three is number five is the Filipino hospitality. And number six is the respect for elders. And these six basic Filipino values ay aaralan siya through Filipino psychology or psikolohiyang Filipino. Always remember this, that psikolohiyang Filipino or Filipino psychology defined as the psychology rooted on the ideas, experiences, and cultural orientation of the Filipino people. Wherein, ito, six basic Filipino values na to, through the studies conducted with regards to the Filipino psychology or Psikolohiyang Filipina is nabuo itong anim na to Filipino values, or they discovered these six Filipino values which builds the Filipino moral character of a Filipino. And the center or the core value of Filipino psychology is kapwa or shared inner self. Ayan po. Tandaan niyo po yung mga yan. So, let's talk about first, pakikisama. So, hindi ko na naayos yung aking PPT support na to. So, pakikisama is having and maintaining good public relations. Kasi tayong mga Filipino, we really love the company of each other. Minsan nga yung dati nung face-to-face, yung mga students ko, lalo na kung babae, minsan din may mga lalaki na magpapaalam sila sa akin mag-CCR, pero dalawa sila or tatlo sila na magkakasama. Diba? Tapos, sasabihin ko, bakit kayo dalawa? Bakit kayo dalawa? Ma'am, yung isa po tagahawak po ng pinto. Ganun yung i-reason out nila sa akin. So, with that, dun pa lang sa parte na yun, we really love having a company of each other. And, through pakikisama, we maintain, or yung mga pagkakaintindihan together with the ideas of other person is na-maintain natin. O na-maintain natin yung mga relationships natin through pakikisama. And ang characteristic ng pakikisama is the value and goal that involves keeping a good feelings in all personal interactions and getting along with others oftentimes at all costs. And the strength kasi of Philippine pakikisama is that we gain friends. So before, no face-to-face pa, I know that some of your professors, when it comes to discuss or when it comes to having an activity, ginugroup nila kayo. Ako din, mahilig ako magpa-group activity, lalo na nung face-to-face. Pero ngayon, hindi ko po siya ginagawa kasi I don't want to put you at risk. So before, ayan, I know that there are teachers or professors na when it comes to their activities, kailangan group kayo na nagagawa nun. Or as a group nyo yon gagawin. And through that activity, there are some groups na lahat ng mga members hindi sila magkakaibigan or hindi naman sila ganun ka magkakakilala. So as kaya naman nabuo or kaya naman nagkakaroon ng pakikisama. So with that, through pakikisama, we gain friends. Kasi hindi lamang nakakabuo ng isang output yung group na yon, kundi nakakabuo din sila ng relationship at nakakabuo sila ng friendship at the end of the day. Hindi lamang nabubuo yung kanilang goal na kung ano man goal meron sila, but they also gain friendship. And next one is creates harmonious relationship, which means nakaka-create to ng good relationship with other people. Hindi man tayo makabuo ng relationship with them or friendship with them, pero nakakabuo tayo ng good relationship, which means yung parang once na nakikita natin sila, nagkakangitian tayo, ganon. Next one, it avoids clashes and confrontation. Yes, that is the strength of pakikisama. Kasi syempre, through pakikisama, we are agreeing to other people's ideas. Diba? Nag-agree tayo dun sa mga ideas nila. And next one is concealing negative feelings or unhappy spirits underneath a pleasant demeanor. So, etong pang-4 or pang-4 na part dito, wait lang, gagamit na ako ng ano. Ayan, wait lang. So, itong part na to, ayan. Kaya po siya naka-merge is because it can be a strength and it could also be a weakness of pakikisama. Okay? Doon muna tayo sa strength ng fourth bullet. So, concealing negative feelings or unhappy spirits underneath a pleasant demeanor. So, meaning to say, sinusuppress natin yung negative feelings that we have or sadness that we have. So, bakit siya naging strength? Kasi, we know or para po sa mga hindi nakakaalam, there are some people na they cannot handle very well good feelings or negative feelings rather. Hindi nila kaya mag-handle ng negative feelings or unhappiness sa paligid nila. Hindi nila kaya mag-absorb even na sariling nila yon. So, that's the reason why it could be the strength. Na, imbes na sabihin mo na nalulungkot ka dun sa tao na yon, is pipiliin mo na lang na huwag na lang. Kasi, because of that situation. And it could also be a weakness in a sense na nasusuppress mo yung negative feelings mo. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo siya nasasabi sa ibang tao. Na, kasi there are some problems na hindi na natin kayang kimkimin. There are some problems na kailangan na natin ng kausap. No? And with that, dahil nga through pakikisama, pinipili natin na wag na sabihin sa ibang tao and i-keep na lang yung negative feelings na yon sa ating sarili. And when we keep that negative feelings on ourselves, it could lead to stress and it could lead to other problems, lalo-lalo na sa emotions natin. So next one, smiling even if the things go wrong. Ayan. Pwede siyang maging strength and pwede din siyang maging weakness ng pakikisama. Strength in a sense na we can help other people with their sorrows, which means we can give hope to other people. Di ba nga tayo mga Pilipino, kilala tayo sa pagiging smiley face. Or yung tipong even if nakalusong ka na sa baha or nakalusong na sila sa baha or may dinaramdam pa din, di ba, we still smile. And with that, we can also give hope to other people struggling emotionally or other things, other aspect. And weakness siya in a sense na baka mamaya kaka-smile natin, hindi na natin nakaharap yung problema natin. Ay, wait lang, may problema ako, ngingiti lang ako, mawawala na yun. No. Siyempre, we always have to face our problems. Hindi naman lahat ng bagay masusolusyonan sa ngiti-ngiti lang, 'di ba? Paano pala kung yung problem mo is papabagsak ka na sa ethics? Ngingiti ka lang, masosolve ba 'yon? Syempre hindi. You need to make kilos or kailangan mo kumilos. Next one is the last part is refrain from venting anger or losing temper. Ayan. Venting anger or losing temper. Kaya siya naging strength is that we can conceal our anger. Or through pakikisama, hindi natin siya kayang mailabas agad-agad yung galit natin. Di ba? Or hindi tayo pwedeng magwala-wala agad dahil sa galit because of pakikisama. Or for example, nagalit tayo sa friend natin and nasa public place tayo. So, wait lang, makikisama muna ako ngayon. Ayoko ng gulo. Hindi ko muna sasabihin sa kanya na nagagalit o naiinis ako. And with that, you control yourself from venting the anger or losing your temper in the public. Kaya siya pwedeng maging weakness is that concealing or refraining or venting your anger, lalo na kung hindi mo nalalabas yung galit mo, is that it can cause different things to you. Hindi lang stress sa sarili, kundi na rin baka pwede magkaroon ka ng problem physically or sa body mo na mismo. And with that, let's talk about naman hiya. Ayan. Hiya can be characterized as feeling of loneliness, shame or embarrassment, and inhibition or shyness, which is experienced as somewhat distressing. So sometimes kasi being shy is medyo nagiging problematic na siya. And hiya is also known as the fear of losing face. Hindi naman siya negative thing ang hiya, pero there are negative siya at some sense. Pero hindi siya totally negative thing. So, ayan. With that, let's talk about the strength and weakness of hiya. So the strength is a person's capacity for proper behavior with authority figures. So through hiya, matututunan natin na sumunod sa rules and regulation or sa law. Dahil mahihiya tayo sa kung ano yung sasabihin ng ibang tao. But the weakness of hiya is that we could lose or we may fear the inferiority complex or we may feel inferior to other people. And being inferior or feeling of inferiority to other people may result in losing our self-confidence. For example, meron kayong classmate na sobrang gandang-ganda or gwapong-gwapo kayo sa kanya and naging crush na siya. So yung other, kaso nga lang, meron kang isang classmate na nalaman mo na nagkakagusto din pala dun sa crush mo na yun. And with that, nakikita mo na yung taong na yon or yung classmate mo na nagkaka-crush dun sa crush mo is mas magaling siya sa'yo, mas matalino siya, basta mas siya sa lahat, mas mataas siya para sa'yo. Na on the other hand, pantay lang naman kayo ang nakakayahan. And with that, you feel inferior. And at the same time, gusto mo nang mag-confess dun sa classmate mo na crush mo. Pero you feel inferior or nakakaramdam ka na parang may competitor ka at mas magaling siya sa'yo or mas inferior siya sa'yo, you lose your self-confidence. And with that, losing self-confidence is a product of hiya. Instead na masabi mo or makonfess mo yung feelings mo dun sa classmate mo na crush mo, hindi mo na siya nasabi or you lose your self-confidence para masabi yung dapat mong masabi sa kanya. Next one, we have amor proprio. If ang hiya is the fear of losing a face, amor proprio naman is having a concept of face. Ayan. So, amor proprio is more known as self-respect or self-esteem. So, in Tagalog, it is also known as dignidad. Ayan. It is a high degree of sensitivity that makes a person intolerant to criticism and causes him to have an easily wounded pride. So, sobrang nagiging oversensitive yung tao because of this. And with that, kapag sobrang taas ng ating sensitivity to criticism, sometimes yung mga criticism na yon is nagiging masama na para sa atin. And amor proprio comes from the person's tendency to protect his or her dignity and honor. So yan, amor proprio. So there is the strength. So the strength of the amor proprio is it helps us to lift up our self-respect. Ayan, hindi katulad ng hiya na we lose our self-confidence. And for through amor proprio, katulad siya ng hiya that it introduces us to self-discipline. But too much having or too much self-respect or too much love to self is that we can become arrogant or abusive to other people. And we feel indifference to the needs of the people around them. Meaning to say, hindi na natin napapansin kung ano pa man yung kailangan ng mga tao sa paligid natin. Or hindi na natin napapansin yung hinanakit or hinaing ng tao sa paligid natin because of amor proprio. Kasi nga, too much na or hindi na natin naiisip pa yung ibang tao dahil ang focus na lang natin is ourselves. Yan. Next, we have utang na loob. Hindi po ako nagmumura ha. Utang na loob is known as debt of gratitude. In English, ayan, hindi po siya indebtedness. And next one is, it is the fundamental aspect of upholding group harmony and relationship that demand the balancing of obligation and debt. So we have, through utang na loob, we have the obligation and we feel in debt with the person around us. So for example, meron tayong classmate na tinulungan tayo sa activity natin sa ethics. And then, we feel burdened na tinulungan niya tayo. So, ayun. Nung siya naman, yung nanghihingi ng tulong is tinulungan natin siya on the other aspect. So, what is the weakness and what is the strength of utang na loob? So, the strength is that we're returning one's favor. So, once na, at some point, no, once na nakatulong tayo sa isang tao, there are some points na i-return niya yung favor. No? And ang weakness niya is we may feel pressure to return one's person's favor. And we may also do things that sometimes may be bad. So with that, mayroon ako nakikita na isang example of utang na loob, diba? Medyo negative tong example na to, but here is what I see in the society. Diba tayo mga Filipino, we hire government officials, diba? And those government officials, meron silang mga projects. And yung mga projects nila is sometimes the scholarship or mga pagtulong lalo na sa mga kababayan natin. No? So every election, some people is burdened para ibalik yung generosity that they have, which is hindi naman talaga totally utang na loob. And because of the concept of utang na loob, no, nangyayari yon. So, for example, scholar ka ng ganitong politician for almost 2 years. Ganyan. And yung stipend from that scholarship, dun ka humuhugot ng pang-araw-araw mo for the school, no? Or ng allowance mo for school. So with that, nafe-feel mo or every time na kukuha ka ng stipend mo doon, nafe-feel mo na, ay, wait lang, parang may utang na loob ako kay tatanawin ko tong malaking utang na loob, ganyan. And with that, dumating na yung time ng election, no, hindi man tumakbo ulit yung politician na yon. So, syempre, nafe-feel mo sa sarili mo na meron kang utang na loob sa kanya kahit na totally hindi naman talaga kasi yung mga stipends or yung mga tawag nito, pondo para dun sa kanilang project is galing sa tax ng taong bayan, no? Is you feel burden pa din to pay back. And para sa'yo, para maibalik mo yung utang na loob na yun is iboto siya ulit. Which is part of the culture ng mga Filipinos. Na sometimes akala natin, we feel na mayroon tayong utang na loob dun sa tao na yun, pero hindi naman talaga. And yun yung isa sa maling konsepto ng utang na loob na mayroon tayong mga Filipino. And next one is we have the Filipino hospitality. So Filipino hospitality is defined as the innate ability and trait of the Filipinos to be courteous and entertaining their guests. The intentionally known to be warm, welcoming, and accommodating. Yan. So through Filipino hospitality, um, we feel the warm or the guest feel the warm, no? Meron nga ng mga scenario sa bahay natin, 'di ba? Lalo na kapag tayo ay may mga bisita na pupunta, merong mga plato, kutsara, baso, tupperware, ano pa, mga mangkok na dun lang lumalabas. Na wala naman siya sa pang-araw-araw na buhay natin or wala naman siya dun sa araw-araw na hapagkainan natin, di ba? Or naluluto yung mga ulam, pagkain na hindi naman natin madalas na nailuluto because of the guests, di ba? So that's the concept of Filipino hospitality. We're welcoming to our guests. And yung ibang foreigners nga sa atin, di ba, na mamangha sila dahil pag pumunta sila sa ibang bansa, hindi naman nila yon ma-feel. Hindi naman daw nila yon na-experience na yung tipong hahandaan ka or i-welcome ka, ganon. Diba? And the strength of Filipino hospitality is that yung mga tao na we treat with so much welcoming, they feel the warm and they feel at home. So as they feel relieved or nafe-feel nila na ay okay, I belong here. Or nafe-feel nila na ay oo nga no, panatag na yung loob ko dito. Ganun, napapanatag yung loob nila. And the weakness of Filipino hospitality is that we Filipinos may be prone to being abused or maltreated. Kasi, syempre, minsan, di ba, sa pagiging sobrang accommodated natin, hindi natin minsan napapansin na sumusobra na pala yung mga taong pinagsisilbihan natin. Next one, this is the last Filipino moral character, which is the respectful for elders or respect to elders. So number one, we have the common grace and manners are to treat our elders with dignity and respect. So it is defined as the common grace and manners are to treat our elders with dignity and respect. So the unique way when it comes to language, yung gesture natin is that saying po and opo when conversing to the elders. Diba? Yung sa mga mas matatanda sa atin. Next one is pagmamano. Yun, nagmamano tayo dun sa mga nakakatanda sa atin. And next is respecting their opinions and their advice. So what would be the strength and weakness? So the strength is that we have harmony with the elders and yung love natin for them and respect for them grows out so as nag-extend din yung love nila sa atin. And with that, kapag nag-grow yung love and respect natin for elders, it also creates close family ties. And next one, the weakness naman for too much having respect for the elders is that sometimes we became dependent with them. Lalo na yung, if ever there are decisions that we can make on our own, pero we need their own opinion pa din. Diba? So, ayun na tayo nagiging dependent. And we sometimes irrationally obedient to elders, kahit na hindi naman dapat. I mean, kahit parang hindi na tama. And we lose our sense of self. Siyempre, too much dependency, lalo na in elders, di ba? We lose our sense of self. Kasi nga, hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng trial and error on ourselves. And when we lose our sense of self, siyempre, hindi na natin nakaharap yung mga problems na dapat nating harapin. Or hindi natin natetest yung sarili natin on that certain kind of problem or challenge, 'di ba? So parang walang exploration sa ating sarili. Kaya we lose our sense of self. Kasi nga hindi natin nararanasan yung hirap or hindi natin nararanasan yung um dapat solution dun sa challenge na yon. And with that, let me have a recap on the 6 Filipino moral character or values. First is we have pakikisama. Next one is we have hiya. Next one is we have amor propio. Next one is respect for elders and also Filipino hospitality. And next one, let's talk about naman universal values. So, through universal values, yan yung nanay ko, may pinapapasok siya eh. Universal values is defined as the values generally shared by culture, which means this type of values is applicable to other society or to other culture. So, universal values also is a strong proof of relativism is wrong. Ayan. Wait lang ah. Bakit may nag-erase ng hand? Okay, strong proof that cultural relativism is wrong. So parang hindi siya nag-agree with the concept of concept of cultural relativism. Kasi 'di ba, si cultural relativism, it defined as na yung culture natin is differ from the other culture and we cannot judge their culture through our culture or we cannot judge them by our own perspective. So, hindi siya nag-agree through cultural relativism kasi yung universal values applicable siya for all of the cultures that we have in the world. Ayan. And may reasonably show that cultures show that other values must be generally shared in many cultures. Which means, meron, kahit nasabihan natin generally na lahat ng mga culture na meron ang isang nation is magkakaparehas, meron pa rin, magkakaiba pala, sorry, meron pa rin tayong mga pagkakapare-parehas in some sorts or is in some sense. So next one, yan, dalawa lang naman to class. So first one, we have telling the truth. So telling the truth, without it, there will be no reason to pay attention to what anyone wants or to communicate. So imagine having a society or living in a society wherein lahat-lahat ng informations ay mali or lahat-lahat ng informations ay lie. Ano ba sa tingin nyo yung mangyayari dun sa society na yon? Will it progress or mawawala siya? Will it progress or mawawala or masisira yung society? Very good. Mawawala po siya. It's because, syempre, yung mga informations, yung mga values that they have, kung lahat ng yon kasinungalingan, may possibility or posibilidad na mangyari dun sa society na yun is bumagsak yung society. Hindi magpo-progress yung society dahil nga yung mga informations na kumakalat doon ay puro lie, 'di ba? So anong feel mo as part of that society? Syempre, 'di ba, you will feel betrayed. So, kung ano man, marami pang negative things na pwedeng mangyari, di ba? Through lying. And next one, number 2, the last universal values is that we have valuing and respecting of life. So, necessitates the prohibition of murder. So, imagine having a society na normal ang pagpatay. Sa tingin nyo, magpa-progress ba yung society na yon? Or magkakaroon ba ng next generation? Hindi po. Very good. Yes, hindi po. Dahil nga, hindi siya magpa-progress. Dahil yung mga tao dun sa society na yun, mamamatay sila. Mawawala sila. And yung culture na meron doon or yung values na meron sila and other beliefs na meron sila doon, traditions that they have there, hindi yun mapapasa-pasa sa other generations. And that, hindi magpo-progress po yung ating society kapag we didn't value and respect the life of other people. And lalo na kung hindi prohibited yung pagpatay. So that's why valuing and respecting life is always present in every culture of this world. And telling the truth, kasama din po siya. So the two universal values are telling the truth, and next one is valuing and respecting the life. So any questions regarding my discussion? Questions po?